Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone, and today we've got 5 amazing decks for you, along with top player thoughts on the brand new cards. We got 2 new cards this week, and we have top player thoughts for them, along with a bundle review. We're going to kick this off with a deck that you've probably never seen. This is Duplicis' Sarah Miracle deck. This deck was at the top of the Infinite Leaderboard last season and is doing so once more. It is a deck that no one is talking about, that no one is playing, but it's a deck that's really, really powerful and capable of competing. I wanted to show a really cool Grandmaster list this week, and this is one such really cool Grandmaster list. It is a little more expensive. It's on the expensive side, where you're going to really want that Grandmaster US Agent and Sage to make it work, along with Malekith. But if you can get this going, this deck is a thing of beauty. So, Red Guardian in this list can be Rogue. We've discussed multiple times that Red Guardian is better than Rogue into the current meta, but I'm starting to think that Rogue might actually be sort of a world beater right now. There's a lot of gore, there's a lot of Devil Dinosaur, there's a lot of Victoria Hand in the meta. All of these cards are cards that Rogue actually wins you the game for. Not that Red Guardian doesn't help, right? But it's hard to actually get to the right target with Red Guardian sometimes, and these are just ongoing sitting alone in lane, so I think Rogue is in a really, really good shot. So I strongly urge you to consider making that change. Gladiator and Copycat are just generically good 3s here. Speed, Negasonic, Mobius, Coulson. Pick your poison for what 3 you would like to run. This is the rank 11 deck of all of last season. This finished in the rank 11 spot. It is currently the rank 14 players deck. Turn 1, you want to pass with this. Turn 2 is Lizard over Invisible Woman over US Agent. Sometimes you'll play Invisible Woman on turn 2, but generally speaking, you would rather play that card on turn 4 unless you're going to play Malekith. Turn 3 is Luke or Gladiator. Turn 4, Malekith is your goal, partially because it gives you an extra card that you can figure out what you're going to do with, partially because it helps you draw into Sarah, and Sarah is fundamentally your snap condition here. If not, you can play a 2/2, and this is the real Invisible Woman time. Turn 5 is a 3/2, especially if you Malekith on 4 and then whiffed on that Sarah. And then turn 6, you're meant to be doing something along the lines of Shadow King, Grandmaster, Red Guardian, Sage. You put out a ton of power, and you should be able to really, really rock the blip. You should really be able to rock the opponent with that, putting out a crazy amount of power. Shadow Kinging 2 lanes and then getting a Sage to win one of those where they had some power. Red Guardian to take away one of their abilities, so on and so forth. We're going to look at a cheap deck that features the new cards, both Victoria Hand and Iron Patriot. But first, one last look at this list. Again, this list has been near the top of the Infinite Leaderboard. This is a thinking person's deck, but if you're willing to think, play solo, you should be able to beat almost anything with this. It is very, very strong. Before we go to that next deck, though, I'm going to ask you to hit that sub button if you're willing. We do 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos here on this channel. If you're willing to offer that extra bit of support, it would mean the absolute world to us. Please hit that sub button. A like and a comment also go a long way to helping us with that YouTube algorithm. 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos, the best, the most thorough content you're going to find anywhere. If you hit that sub button, it really helps us out. And we're going to give you a potential to win a season pass. We're giving away 5, you heard it right, 5 season passes this week. One person who comments on this very video will get a season pass. The same thing is true of every other video this week. All you have to do is sub, like, and then later this video, I'm going to ask a question. You answer that question in the comments, you are entered to win the Iron Patriot for today. Nice and simple, right? Even next week, we give away 1 a week until the end of the season. So if you want to get these cards, then for free, this is the place for you. All right, Safety Blade. You know Safety Blade, or at least I hope you know Safety Blade. Safety Blade is one of our friends. He's one of the most featured deck creators on the channel. He's currently in the top 20 with this very cheap list that is fundamentally built around Victoria Hand. Iron Patriot is here, right? Iron Patriot is great. Iron Patriot is incredibly strong, but this is fundamentally a deck built around Victoria Hand. She is the power card here, along with Collector, that allows you to steal games, although obviously Iron Patriot can find ways to steal games all on his own. You can find Safety Blade at twitch.tv/safetyblade or writing articles on Marvel Snap Zone. This deck needs exactly 3 high series cards, and hey, if you've got 4 spotlight keys, you can get all 4. You need Kate Bishop, Victoria Hand, and Iron Patriot. So Iron Patriot is the current season pass. Victoria Hand is in spotlights with Kate Bishop. If you have all 3 of these cards, you can play this list. Now, I'm not sure if I'm recommending you to buy Victoria Hand or not. We're going to do our first real recommendation for Victoria Hand in tomorrow's video. We'll explain more about that later this video. Rocket and Groot here is just a good 3-drop. Negasonic or Red Guardian are perfectly fine replacements. I'm partial to Negasonic personally with Iron Patriot in the list. Valentina here could be Mirage perfectly fine. Valentina is very good, but so is Mirage, and you don't miss out on too much. Mirage getting +2 to a card and then turning that into a +4 is often a game-winning proposition. Turn 1, you want Quinjet over Maria Hill over Agent 13. The reason you play Maria Hill is you need a 2-drop fundamentally, but Quinjet just makes your whole life easier going forward. Turn 2 is Collector or Iron Patriot. You're going to have to read the board. If you have Juggernaut or Rocket, you really want Iron Patriot. If you don't have a good follow-up, you're probably going to want to go Collector. Collector has just so many cards that trigger him in this deck. He's very often 8 to 10 power. 2 for 8 to 10 is still a lot. 3 for 8 is honestly not like super always worth going out of your way for, but 2 to 8 or 10 is still huge. In this list, Valentina and Kate are perfectly fine plays on 2, but they're not like requirements. Kate's best arrow is game winning. If you happen to get that acid arrow, taking up that spot, giving the -2 power is game winning. It's an incredibly strong card, but you only have a 50% chance of getting it, so it goes below the other 2. Turn 3, Juggernaut or Rocket if you played Iron Patriot. You played Generation cards if you played Collector. The best Generation card if you play Collector is, generally speaking, at this point in the game, Agent Coulson, because you don't want to make your Collector too big right away, and you do want to see what 4 and 5 you're going to have to work with. Turn 4 is a 2/2, because note that there are 4 good 2s, or you can play generated cards. If you played Valentina, this is a good turn for Valentina. If you didn't play Iron Patriot yet, you can try and get Iron Patriot out, and then you can jug into on turn 5, for example. Turn 5 is Shang or Hand and a 3. You, generally speaking, want to try and start getting out your power cards now, your generated stuff as well. Turn 6 is Shang, generated card or Juggernaut, and Victoria Hand, and some combo thereof. Cool. This seems like it might be hard to do, but Quinjet really, really does make it you able to play a lot more cards than you would otherwise think. This is a very good deck. You'll note that, like, there's going to be a lot of variety in this list, right? I played this on stream yesterday with safety coaching, and he was like, no, don't do that, do this. No, don't do that, do this. This is a thinking person's deck, much like the first one. But if you're willing to think about this, this is the cheapest way to get into these new cards, which we're going to get to the top thoughts on for at least the first one right now. So Iron Patriot, the current season pass card, asked a bunch of top players what they thought of it. But who's genuinely probably the best player I play regularly, multiple times Step Judgment's league champion, says awesome, very fun, and doesn't feel oppressive. His opinion's actually exactly the same about Victoria Hand. Derek says that this is going to be a staple in a lot of stuff, former 2-time #1 player Derek. W, one of the best deck builders in the game, says really solid, above average. We'll see on the decks. Safety Blade says overrated but very plug and play, way too much stats. Roram says plug and play in every deck. Gravebees, a person who finished around the top 20 last year, says more complex and interesting than everyone thinks, and everyone's high in him already. Vane, another top player who's newer in collection level, says incredibly strong and not the kind of strong that's healthy for the game. Abra, a player who was formerly in the top 3 and stopped playing quite as much to be that high, but still phenomenal, says one of the strongest cards in a while, decent stats, huge payoff. Den, the head writer of Marvel Snap Zone, just says very simply, super good. Top 100 player Crimefoot says fun and strong. Top 100 player Toxic Soul King says solid, not impressed, will disappear in a few weeks. That's the only actual negative one here. Honifer, the current #1 ranked player, says way too good and should probably be nerfed. Ika, the most featured deck builder on the channel, genuinely brilliant person, says too strong to stay the way it is. The cost reduction subsidizes bad hits and good hits win the game. I'm in agreement with Honifer and Ika. I think this card is too strong. I think Iron Patriot is one of the best cards in the game. I think it's certainly the best 2-drop in the game, and it's a must-own card. I don't know how to mince words any more than that. We're probably going to do like an every Iron Patriot deck video tomorrow or the next day, because like we just have to talk way, way, way more about this card. It is incredibly strong and just goes in stuff. Next up, we have the current #2 deck. This is Crazy's Tryhard. We featured this. This would have been like the featured deck of the week when you see its stats, but we featured a version of this that was 2 cards different last week, and I didn't want to like yell and scream about a deck that changed 2 cards, even though I sort of did that for Thanos a few days ago. But I won with that Thanos, so it felt different because it won both the tournament and I got an Infinity Border. So this is Crazy's Tryhard. It fundamentally added Iron Patriot and Legion in replacing Enchantress and Zabu. Those are the changes. If you would like to make those changes, please feel free. Enchantress was here to beat Doom 2099. Zabu was here because at that point you were running 3/4s, and getting them cheaper is good. You can find Crazy at twitch.tv/crazy_IM. Don't tell him I sent you. This deck needs Kate Bishop, Wiccan, Fenris, Gladiator, and Goliath. Those are your required Series 4 and 5 cards. The replaceable Series 4 and 5 cards are Legion for Enchantress, Rocket and Groot for Negasonic, Valentina, and Iron Patriot for Penny, Cable, Mirage, and Gore for Red Hulk or Magneto. Now, Goliath is still going to be a requirement, especially because people, especially good players, are trying to wait as long as possible in order to play their Victoria hands, their power cards at the end, and Goliath can turn those off. While in addition, you're playing for Prio because of Iron Patriot anyway, so Iron Patriot and Goliath go extremely well together. All right, so Crazy is 20-7 with this, which is a 74% win rate in high infinite. That's hugely impressive. Turn 1, you want to play Quicksilver. Turn 2 is Iron Patriot is your goal. Iron Patriot's incredible here over Kate, which is better than Valentina, which is more or less equal to Fenris. You will play Kate over Iron Patriot if Kate gives you access to a Wiccan trigger that you're not sure you otherwise have. Because then you can go Arrow and Iron Patriot on 2. Turn 3, Gladiator or Red Guardian is better than 2+1. Turn 4, Wiccan is better than 2+2 or the Valentina card. Turn 5, you can play Legion or you can play Fenris and a 3. Sorry, I wrote Fenris in the wrong spot. You can play Fenris and a 3, Fenris and Rock and Group, Fenris and Gladiator is really good here. Fenris only really has Shang and Gladiator to trigger it here, unless you're flexing in Negasonic, so don't feel like you have to have Fenris out, but when like he offers you an extra play pattern, and your opponent will like do things like use Red Guard on him, like forcibly avoid that lane, try and play around it, and he makes it very, very easy to win, even though he's not like automatically the best in the deck. You can also drop a 6 on this turn with Wiccan, or you can drop like a Shang and a Gladiator, stuff like that, and just go off. Turn 6 is generally speaking Goliath or Gore with the 2-drop. And remember that at some point you're very likely to have a really cheap Iron Patriot card that you fit in as you can. One last look at this before we talk about Victoria Hen. This is a very strong list. This is just like there's 18 different lists that look sort of like this. This is the meta list right now, right? The meta list is doing something with either Wiccan, Anti-Venom, or Galacta in the 4 spot, and then sort of running this shell of cards around them. Hey, did you know I stream? You should check out twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. I also stream right here on YouTube, but I don't always go live. Like tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be recording the Snap Judgments podcast live with the great Perry Manilow. And that will only be on Twitch. That's a Twitch exclusive stream. So if you're interested, please make sure to check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. And very easily, the season pass question for the day. Thursday has been my favorite day since college. You can figure out why. Honestly, it's because it was the start of my weekend, and it was just, I don't know. I always liked Thursdays even as a kid. I don't, like, people are like, I hate Mondays. I don't hate Mondays. I hate Tuesdays. Tuesdays, like, feel like a nothing happening day, right? Monday, I have the beginning of the week energy. Thursday, I have the almost done energy, end in sight energy. And I really, really enjoy Thursdays. What's your favorite day of the week? Let me know in the comments. That's your nice, simple, basic question that can help you win a season pass. All right, our top player thoughts for Victoria Hand. Honifer says very good and balanced. Safety says fun and enables cards that see less play, but you have to play gendered cards. Still, her deck is strong. Gravebees will mature decently, but kind of weak. Feels like Fenris. I love that take. This does feel a little bit like Fenris, where like in certain very hyper-specific decks, it's going to be really strong, but a lot of the times you're just going to be like, I don't know if I want to play that, or you're going to generate stuff and be like, I don't know. It's still really good with Gate Bishop, though. Ika says this has yet to fill its potential, but it's fun new decks. Roram says this is new archetype and so much fun. I low-key think she's stronger than Iron Patriot, which is the only person that said that. That's really cool. Abra's not sold. Crime Afoot says opens up cool playlines. Den says good, but until Wiccan and Galactor are nerfed, not good enough. I.e. +2 stats is not good enough when Wiccan is giving you +2 extra energy, +4 over the course of the game, and Galacta is giving you +6 extra stats wherever you want him. Toxic Soul King says fun, but you don't miss anything if you skip them. Makes sense to me. Um, I don't know what my recommendation is going to be for Victoria Hand. We're going to look at stats tomorrow and really figure that out and really dive in. I want to recommend Victoria Hand for 2 reasons. Reason 1 is she opens up a bunch of new decks, and cards that open up new decks are generally worth having. I'm not sure those decks are great, though, so that really adds a caveat. The other reason is if you can manage to open next Tuesday at the after the patch, but before the reset, you have that chance to get the extra 2,000 tokens, and Kate Bishop is incredible and worth owning. And I like when Second Dinner releases cards that go together, like Victoria Hand and Kate Bishop go really well together, and thus I think that there is some value here. Next up, we have Not My Dance. With this really great deck, this has been my best pre-infinite deck so far, and I have no idea why. I don't even like the Moon Girl here. I have yet to get good use out of it, but I just have been winning with this list. So I wanted to make sure I featured a Victoria Hand list that didn't feature Iron Patriot for anyone who's free to play but use their spotlights. Victoria Hand is always going to run with Kate Bishop, but that's what this list is here for. You can find Not My Dance at twitch.tv/NotMyDance. Awesome human being, genuinely growing streamer because he's just so damn good. This deck needs Hydra Bob, Wiccan, Kate, and Victoria Hand. And yes, I know you usually don't need Hydra Bob. I think you actually do here, though. You just, like, Hydra Bob is really, 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 really good at about turn 3 at making it so your opponent doesn't always get their stupid power cards off. And that's very important. The other reason is that Moon Girling Hydra Bob is one of the key patterns for this deck. If you don't have Gore, you can run She-Hulk. That would make the Moon Girl make more sense. Again, I don't love the Moon Girl here. It just works. I don't know why it says both on boards with this. Ignore that. This turn 1, you want Quinjet. You will play Kitty over one of the permanent ones if you don't have either 2 or 3, so you can aim for Wiccan. Turn 2, you want to play Collector or another 2-drop. Is better than another 2-drop. You will play Kate again if you played a 1, like a permanent 1-drop, and then you don't have a 3, you don't have Coulson. You'll play Kate Bishop because then you can play a 2 plus a 1 on 3, even if that is Collector and you're giving up extra power that way. Turn 3, Coulson or 2 plus 1. Turn 4, Wiccan, and Wiccan is a snap condition here, assuming you have Victoria Hand. That's better than Moon Girl, and your general Moon Girl targets are Hydra Bob and Victoria Hand. If you've got 210 out of power from those cards, and then you can play all the cheaper stuff from Quinjet, right? The Moon Girl stuff, while they have +2 power, that tends to be game winning. That even lets you Victoria Hand early if you must to do that. Turn 5 is Gore or Moon Girl, or you can obviously play generated stuff. And turn 6 is Gore or Hand plus Shang, but also you can just drop, again, a bunch of generated stuff, from even if it's just from Moon Girl. This list, again, is so much stronger than it looks. This plays really, really well. This has been my most successful Victoria Hand list. I think the safety list is better than this, but I personally had more success with this version. If you'd like to see gameplay for all these decks, please check out the King of Canada, who will be streaming at 12 p.m. Eastern. Have a video up with these decks tomorrow. GamingwithFlashX should have a video up with yesterday's decks sometime relatively soon. The Take a Bow bundle is out, and it is a really, really good gold bundle. 2,800 credits for 2,000 gold is a pretty good deal. However, you should not buy this bundle. The reason you should not buy this bundle is there are better gold bundles coming, gold bundles that include Series 4 and 5 cards, including Anti-Venom and February, and you want to save gold for those. Yes, there is an argument for just like immediately getting the satisfaction of getting Mirage, but Marvel Snap is a game that consistently and constantly punishes you for making that kind of choice. Instead, wait for a gold bundle that will have similar progression value, but also get you a brand new card. Zombies Go Nom Nom has a Handbuff deck that he hit Infinite with and then kept winning with in Infinite. And I thought I should show that list because this is a really cool list. This one is very similar to something we've showed earlier, but I really like the Brood Shaw thing with Galacta, and I think it's really cool. Longtime viewers should know how much joy I take from this type of deck. You can find zombies at youtube.com/@zombiesgonomnom. Go check them out. This deck needs Agony, Lasher, Shaw, Galacta, Namora, and Penny. That is 6 high series cards, I know, but 2 of them you should have gotten for free from High Voltage. One is a season pass, and one is a former season pass. Shaw was a season pass. Some of you weren't playing last December, but he was, and Galacta was a season pass last season, so which would mean you would need Namora and Penny. Rocket and Groot And Jeff can be Nocturne, Nightcrawler, Psylocke. Red Guardian can be Rogue. We've discussed that multiple times. Iron Lad's replacement is unfortunately a high series card. That would be Gwenpool. And Scarlet Spider can be Captain Marvel. With Brood, I'm not even entirely sure that Scarlet Spider is better than Captain Marvel in the first place. Nice, simple, 13-7, 65%. Turn 1, you want Agony. If you go Agony into Penny, you can get out Galacta early, which is really strong. If not, you can if you don't have Galacta, you can Agony Penny in a different spot. That's fine. That's better than Jeff, which is better than a Lasher. You don't necessarily want to Agony Lasher right away, unless you're sure you're going to be able to Namora. That is a very powerful play, though. So if you Agony Lasher, then Namora, that's a 9 power Lasher, which plays for 18 power, which is just crazy sauce, right? Turn 3, you want Galacta over Rocket and Groot, or you can play Shaw if you already have that Namora, because again, that's going to be an 11 power Shaw all of a sudden, which is really good. Turn 4, Galacta over Iron Lad or Scarlet Spider. If you're going to play Namora, sometimes you're going to play that Scarlet Spider on 3 or 4 so that you can Namora it up to a 10 to duplicate it. That's perfectly fine. Don't be afraid to, if you do that, trigger the Scarlet Spider a bit early so you know where the hell it's going if you're not going to fill every lane. Turn 5, Namora or Scarlet Spider, or Lasher plus Spider. Lasher plus Spider is incredibly strong, especially after Galacta. And then turn 6, Shaw or Brood, and whatever activates you've got, whatever cards you've got left over, win the game with all of your buffs. This list is super cool, chat, friends, viewers. This list is super cool, and I cannot urge you to play it enough. I love Handbuff. I think it's the most underrated archetype in the game right now. It is really good and really competitive. Is it as good as Surfer? No, I don't think so, but it is still really, really strong. Questions of the day. DriveStart asks if there's an ability I'd like Snap to have. Okay, I'm going to explain this ability. Magic has this, and I don't know what it's called in Magic, but you spend some of your resources, say 2 energy, to put a card into a different zone. It was called Shadows in a previous game. I don't remember what Magic calls it, but Magic 100% has the ability where you pay like 2 mana, Snap energy, and put a card face down in a different zone. You can choose to bring that card out of that zone by paying whatever the rest of its energy cost is at a later date, at a later time as a surprise play. And I think that is super cool. And I would really, really, really love Snap to have that ability. All right, Pyrofrost asked the best time for New York, like he's asking what year New York would be like at its height. So I think the like late 90s New York was absolutely amazing. We're talking obviously 90s, pre 9/11. I really, really love New York at that time. I used to spend basically all summer in the city just wandering around, hanging out with people, and it was a joy. That's when I would love to be in New York. I don't know, like the world was still obviously all messed up, right? But things felt maybe I was just young and naive, and I'm looking at this from a too limited perspective, but I really did love that time. I loved the music. Everything just fit together for me. Reminder, if you are a player who's going through their Series 3 journey, to pretty please join our Discord. You can put your decks in a spot on that Discord where I will help you on stream build a bunch of decks and then send you a document with some decks and some strategies for how to grow your collection. We have a Patreon if you're interested at patreon.com/snapjudgments. The $2 tier will allow you to enter our Snap Judgments League, which is our next major tournament. I'd like to say thank you to the $10 patrons who are Abigail Giesland, Mandatory Burnout, Irregardless, David G. Wingfield, Dirty Casual, Danton, LAB, FaThorNewman, Good Dog Gamer, Inc., I Am Frostman, Je Navalit, YOLO Potato, Thinking Poker, Primed Ryan, Ryan Burke, Ryan Wood, Ryan's, Kirtix Lee, Quarry Kazushi, Archangel, 3K, it's 4Ks, damn it, Pyrofros, The Goat Seeker, Hallowed, Quid Pro, Joe, Snap Decisions, Joe, check out the Snap Decisions podcast, please. Also check out FaThorNewman. I think those are the only 2 content creators in that section. Fat Nick, Mr. Kerfuffle, hey Kerfuffle, Cables, hopefully you're having a safe trip, safe travels, my friend. Ginger Prime, Philip Rakovich, Racco, who does all the wonderful shorts you see on this channel. What's Haplo Ning, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, Rob Silverman, The Biz Up, Black Jeebus 23, Extra C, and Skippy G, Rhyming Friends, Jessica Gamble, hey Jess, hopefully you're doing well. Jess G, what? Tommy Nyquist, who won Snap Judgment Season 1, The Kinger Bros, Bruh, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kev Hoda, Lunar Chris, sup Luna, Corwin, John Q, and Jimmy McHugh, Glam, Colonel, Forbin, what's up Forbin, Yistout, 8th, Sage, Synth, one of our newest friends. Thank you, Synth, for joining. Mod Supreme Models, The Green Goblin, Unibot, Uni, Flan56, Steven, Brian Kaufman, Tristan Martin, Jason B, Real Name Town, our new friend Only Fox. Thank you, Only Fox, for hanging out so much lately. I really, really appreciate it. The Fuzzy Dunlop, Spectrumix, Hoot, Medich, DJ, Mikey, Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Ocularis, what's up, Acu? Mr. Craig Sterry, BG, Zodrex. It might be Zodrex. Shh. The King of Canada, who you should watch on stream today. Denman Falcon, who you should check out on YouTube today. Spike Jones, Jonesy Snapped, who you should check out on YouTube today. The great Two Ties, our friend Lauren Bodevs of the Snap on This podcast. The Pirate King Tuccrr of Twitch and YouTube fame. And of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for. Click that button in the middle to hit that sub. You can also check out some other great videos from us. If you're not yet sold, I promise you, you will be happy and satisfied here. See you tomorrow for more Snap Take, because again, 7 days a week. I think we're doing an extra video this week too. Peace.